So in terms of we have installed the first workflow of Mediar in your organization.
Mm-hmm.
How are you liking the new system? Right.
Well, first thing is it does fix one of our old bugs that has been in our production environment. The adjustment of the text, right? That part we make it correct, and the rest, I mean, it runs quite smoothly, and I would say is a lot faster than previously, because previously I think even at this time it's not yet completed, but the few days I come in to check, it will all complete at around 8 a.m. And our staff actually starts work. The earliest one that comes in is around 8 a.m. So it fits their schedule quite well.
And in terms of in the past, what solutions have you used?
Sorry?
What solutions did you use for automation? Was it originally like a human person doing that, and then you automated it?
Yeah. We at first all these are done by finance team. They look at the reports and then they transfer the data manually into the SAP system. That's why
just to give a context, so it's basically the point of sale system produces a end of the day revenue sales report, and you have to put it into SAP. Right?
Yes. For every outlet, every day, finance team they'll plug out the figures that we are keeping track of, and then put it into the SAP system. And that was like quite long ago, until 2022, when we started doing the RPA process and using the what do you call that, UiPath. And it wasn't very smooth. I mean, we need support quite frequently. As in, like, sometimes the POS system, it doesn't email out the reports correctly, and then they'll be missing and the emails, and then there's no way to like ask the process to start. It's usually we just have to send the email to our vendor and wait for them to put it in for us and run the process. I mean, manual start the RPA process.
Just to clarify, so you had to buy the license, and then you had to hire a third-party vendor who is going to like maintain it and first implement and then maintain, right?
Yes.
And whenever something is not working on the server, there is no way there is no proper dashboard to do that. You have to do it. You have to send them an email and wait.
Yes, we can only send them the email to ask them to, hey, this data not transfer into SAP that day is missing from SAP, which time period, all those things. Finance will send them an email.
And how quickly do they reply?
Usually, I mean, hopefully it was like, every first of the month we have the complete data set for previous month, that it's easier for account to close on time. But sometimes we will drag on for this part, right? I keep seeing finance side chasing the vendor to quickly expedite the process.
So it's like
eat into at least the first week of the month.
But to talk to this vendor, it takes like 1 day to get back and forth, or?
Yeah, we'll email them, and then finance team will like check the next day or the subsequent days, and then if we're still missing, they'll ask them whether it's already processed or not, and all those things. Usually the vendor will reply us that, oh, all these have been posted. So if they do not reply, most probably is they have not got to the stage of updating the system yet. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not clear. You only rely on this like email communication, and sometimes you don't hear anything.
Yes.
How would you compare it to like what you have now?
This is, I mean, very straightforward, that we can see it and all those things. I think basically, it's very straightforward whether it's successful or not, and then the dashboard really helps a lot, and we can submit our own work to start it, to stop it anytime we want. Very flexible, yeah.
To trigger process both in a test environment and in the production.
Yes, it's very configurable. I think it's quite good.
Have you tried the Q&A, the AI assistant that helps you like review the execution?
Yes, yes. I tried a few times, to check, like, what's the reason that it asks for it failed or things like that. Yeah, it's quite helpful. It's very helpful, in fact.
Can you explain?
It will tell you like whether it's the SAP side there's some issue that prevents it to complete the task, all those things.
Can you explain when do you use it? Like in what scenarios do you use it?
Well, I always use it when it fail, when I see a fail, and then I'll go in to look at it. And if it's like I can't really make out the reason, then I'll ask this Q&A part with the prompt that you have already prepared. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, the Q&A AI bot, it has access to all the execution logs, and so it knows both the workflow and the execution and the environment, so it can give you the like a root cause analysis.
Yes, it's very helpful.
Yes. Good. How did you find the usage of like the schedule and the triggering part? How is it? Is it flexible? Is it like, and how would you compare it to other scripts?
Yeah, it's like, if I don't have any, if I, it helps me, especially when you can just run it without providing the files, what to run, and then you run those outstanding sitting still not processed yet. Yeah, actually, this one we need to check how it goes about the folder, but anyway, is a lot better than the previous one that we used. Very flexible, and I can test it out if I want, like, whether you're opposed to I can test it out in UAT, just changing the config there. Like for this outlet, I want to test it out in UAT, I can do it and just do the settings, all those things.
Okay.
Yeah, to me is a big improvement to what we have previously. Yes.
And a quick question: did you get like email notifications with other tools, and do you get them with our tool?
Other tools, I requested it, but it wasn't put in place, so we don't get any notification at all. But with Mediar, yes, we do receive the email notifications, and even for those, like, asking us to check, because it's not very confirmed of the outcome. And yeah, it definitely remind us what to do, what to check, all those things.
Yeah. I will also explain to you how to use notifications depending on the role of the person. So you can trigger different types of notifications to different people. For example, when you need a finance review, you know that this status is applicable to finance, and that those notifications are going to be directed to that person.
Okay. Yeah. That would be good.
I remember we had like a few conversations about the quality compared to like the previous solution, the quality of the entries that we do. Can you briefly describe the quality of the postings once they are inside? You mentioned that there were still some issues before.
Yeah, that was because the way the post calculate the text and the SAP auto calculating the text, there will be sometimes some differences, and then we have to post adjustment to the journal entries. The previous system, it posts like sometimes it's very weird. The numbers doesn't really matches what we wanted, and after the journal entries, finance have to go in to do further adjustment, because even when the system adjusts the entries, the text is still wrong. The text amount is still wrong from the previous system. So this is the part that I mentioned just now, that we fixed this bug with this Mediar, and all the posting, the text amount actually matches to our post text amount. So that part, finance definitely will have less adjustments to do.
So just to clarify, are you saying basically with a UiPath there was like an issue how they calculate adjustment to tax when they do the posting in SAP. And despite having this like conversations and trying to make it work in UiPath, it still wouldn't give you the right result. And it was like simply not possible with UiPath. And you had, and a finance person manually had to go into SAP end of each month to make some data entries manually because there was an error, right?
Yes, definitely, yes. Because at the end of the month, when you have to report to the tax department, the tax bureau, right? What we collected from the POS system is the true figure. So we have to adjust to that. And based on UiPath, definitely every month finance still need to do adjustment. Even though every day when it's posting supposed to do the adjustment, but the adjustment is wrong. We can see it in certain days, right? It's different from what the POS tax is. But so far from Mediar, all of it matches. So this is one less task for finance department to do adjustment. Yeah.
Yeah. When we were helping you create this workflow, it was like a tricky part. So we use like AI builder, the background that builds the workflow, and it looked up the complication about the tax calculation, and we found out that different systems use different rounding approach. And in this case, it wasn't like a math rounding approach. We needed to use the banking rounding approach, which is slightly different rule. So so that was causing, I suppose the UiPath doesn't support that. And so that was causing the trouble because sometimes it would work just randomly and sometimes they wouldn't fit into the same rounding rule, and that would create this like one-time differences that were annoying.
It's like they try to force fit it. Even the adjustment they post, right? The debit and credit side, the amount sometimes you see is different as well. When you do the adjustment, you are supposed to post like the debit and the credit should be equal amount.
Cancel out,
yeah, it doesn't work that way. I don't know what kind of formula they use.
Yeah. So it seems like they don't have like validation in place, right? They just do the like hard code like automation. Like, yeah, we post something, but they don't run a validation check on top of it.
Yes.
And you cannot run this validation check yourself. You have to do it manually at the end of
the month. Yeah, they have to do it another adjustment to the text. Yeah.
And just like a last question, so just in terms of like onboarding and creating and just like experience of getting started with the Mediar, if you were to compare it, like you're like a software engineer yourself, like imagine that you would create your own like script to automate things like end to end. How would it be this process more like different from like using Mediar directly?
That's the thing, because our company has this policy of moving away, having a dedicated person to always do the coding part, right? If I do this, I mean, I've tried. I did not use any AI tool, so it's very traditional style where I will write a Python script to do the processing the CSV files to what I want to form the data that I want, and then calling the SAP API to do the posting, all those things. So if there's any changes to all the mappings and all those things, I will have to always updating the Python script. And then let's say I go away, someone take over, they may need to spend time. So that is the traditional method of doing all this integration. So that's why we are looking at whether we can go into like like your style. I would say it's like no code what do you call it, programming, right? So you just say do this. Even the AI can help you rather than someone has to go and maintain always maintaining the be it Python script or Node.js or some other using .NET, all these things. So that will be a big difference.
Makes sense. So to be able to maintain and also just like the knowledge, like if you leave the company, you might forget to like show to the new person how to run this particular workflow, and they will run into issue if there is a problem with the process in the future.
Yeah.
But also, I guess, what about the environment? Because as part of the project, we give you like a virtual machine, like a
yes. That's
so,
the thing.
so you don't have to worry about that, right?
Yeah. That is also the I mean that is the true gist of like outsource the infrastructure, outsource the coding part of it, all those things, right? So we only face media side. I guess that's becomes like you just manage your partners on doing all these things.
Mm-hmm.
That is the gist of the so-called cloud computing. It helps you simplify a lot of workflows on your end as well.
Right. And you can run these workflows. You don't have to worry about the server. You just design a workflow and it runs in the protected environment automatically. You don't have to worry about this infrastructure.
Yes. Even now, even if we host our own VMs, it's still instead of the physical maintenance, you still have to maintain the infrastructure to ensure that the VM is running properly. When it's time to upgrade, you still need to do a lot of work to do the upgrading, all those things. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good. Thanks a lot, Chai, for this feedback and comments.
I think it's what I feel. It's not like I'm stating other things there. It really is at least on my end is a big improvement compared to UiPath.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Thanks.